Okay, it's go time. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Monday morning coffee talk show. We are grateful that you are joining us on this beautiful Monday morning, and I'm very thrilled about our show today. We've got a wonderful guest, Mr. Ben Bowen from North Carolina, and we're excited to have you. Welcome today.
Good morning. Good morning. It is an honor and privilege to be here. Looking
Well,
forward
we
to it.
are so happy. We're going to have a great conversation, and just buckle your seatbelt. We've got a lot of wisdom that is about to be imparted. Everyone, we are grateful that you're joining us today. And if you would please just put in the chat box where you're coming from today. What are you grateful for today? You know, when I think about Valentine's Day and the fact that that is actually tomorrow, there's a lot of different ways to look at Valentine's Day. When we just think about an attitude of gratitude and start thinking about maybe just loving on ourselves or putting more love out into the world, that helps us start to think about things that we're grateful for. One of my biggest gratitude this morning is the fact that my oldest son was born on this very day, and he made me a mom, and I'm so grateful for him. And just watching him grow up and having an adult child now is it's such a gift as a mom to be able to cherish and just follow his life, and just so proud, just beaming with mama pride today. So very, very grateful for him, and very grateful for you today, Ben. What are you grateful for today?
Happy birthday to your son. So, Valentine's Day is obviously this week and tomorrow, but for me, our wedding anniversary is on Sunday, the 19th, and this is number 30 for us. So I'm very grateful that my wife has put up with me for 30 years, and this journey she's been on with me from day one, just out of college. So it's been a great ride. So very grateful for that, for her. I've got two boys who are juniors and seniors in high school right now. So the senior is trying to decide which college, and the junior is starting that journey. So I'm grateful for where they've gotten to and where they are, and watching them turn into young men, and just they're in an exciting transition period. So I'm very grateful for that. And beyond that, just waking up healthy, that's a good day.
It is. We got to wake up today. That's a gift. It's
Yeah.
such a gift. Ben, I love just watching your face light up when you started talking about your anniversary, 30 years. Congratulations. That's a really big deal. That is something that is an accomplishment, and two beautiful boys. And as you're starting to help them spread their wings and be able to fly is another very exciting part, and big transitions in your life for sure. So happy anniversary to the both of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit more about your flowers outside. I'm just looking at how beautiful it is right there you're in Charlotte, North Carolina today. Is that correct?
We are. So we've had some warm days in spring. Flowers are coming a little bit early here, but yeah, it's pretty outside. Those
It
cherry
is
blossoms are real pretty.
beautiful. Yeah, the cherry blossoms are there. The grass is green. I do look forward to that, but I will tell you that I'm coming from the Colorado Rocky Mountains, and the snow is epic. We are talking feet and feet and feet of snow outside my door right now. So we are a long way from the beauty that you have right there. We just kind of have a different kind of paradise right now. So if you are a skier, you are really needing to get online right now and book your trip to the mountains, because the snow is absolutely incredible. We have, I was looking out my back door yesterday, and there was a beautiful deer, and I live on a river, and there's a deer that was just sitting there, but the snow around him, just even my chairs that are out there, there's like this much of them peeking out, and the rest is all snow. So there's got to be 4 feet of snow out there right now. So it's different, but I'm loving that. Ben, thank you for joining us today. I think that when we met, I just was really inspired by you, and you had a lot of hidden wisdoms, that really came, and I'm hoping that we can bring those out in this conversation today. I'd love to hear a little bit more about the areas that you serve in the real estate world, but also share with us just a little bit more about your real estate history and your background.
So I worked for a national home builder for 6 years, selling homes on site. Then I went to work for a developer of high-end luxury neighborhoods for 10 years. And then 2008 happened, and the market crashed. we were representing about 20 custom home builders, and they were all going out of business. And so kind of woke up one day and didn't, have a job anymore. So I was looking around trying to figure out what to do next. And real estate's the only thing I knew. I used to joke that I had the golden handcuffs on because we were making good money, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. I was tied on site to that job. And I felt if I could get into general brokerage, I could grow the business and build something bigger. So I always wanted to do that, but never, it was hard to take that leap. But once the market crashed in 2010, I opened my own firm, which was probably, I'm not sure if it was brave or smart or dumb, but that was my path. And it's funny, Sotheby's was not in our marketplace. I did not see a company that epitomized what I wanted to do. And that was focus on high level customer service, great marketing, and luxury homes. And so that was kind of where I created my niche. So I hired a marketing company and created my own brand and did that for 11 years, and things were good. Sotheby's had recruited me for several years, and finally I decided, okay, let me find out what this is all about. And I had an opportunity to go to our headquarters with Premier Sotheby's and see the marketing tools, the resources. I mean, it's absolutely hands down just wowed me. And I think it's beyond anything else in our industry. And so I was kind of like, where do we sign up for this? So I was ready to go. And so it was funny. Our CEO, Bud Husky, told me that Christine Newell, the senior VP, would probably come to Charlotte and present a proposal to me. And she did that on a Friday. And I decided I'm not going to respond Friday. That's, I need to wait over the weekend no matter what. She left my office an hour later. I called and said, hey, I'm in.
I'm in.
So, but I knew from the moment, Mel, that I got involved in the brand at all, that it was where I belonged. But I was aware of the marketing. I was aware of the brand recognition. My biggest takeaway, though, has been the people. It's the power of the people that make up the brand. I have built some phenomenal relationships with people within Premier Sotheby's, within Sotheby's all across the country. Going to some of the networking events, to Texas networking event, met some great people there. I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta and speak on a panel with Sean Tate, who you've had, and with Maria Vitale as our guest speaker there. And just those experiences were phenomenal. The wisdom and knowledge and just collaborating with these kind of people is phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to G&E in April.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's just all been in 1 year.
One year.
Let's go a little bit deeper into that. So you just had your 1 year anniversary.
Right.
And I met you in North Carolina, probably almost exactly a year ago. Yeah, so a happy anniversary on that one as well. You mentioned just the tools, the golden handcuffs. Do you feel like now you have what you need in order to just really blossom? My guess is you're going to say yes, because you have had one heck of a year.
I have what I need. I need to learn how to better utilize all the resources.
Sure.
So,
Yes. Well, I think that there's a lot of resources. I say choose your vital few, and you have, and that really does come into the vital few. I think you mentioned the word raise the bar. When you raise the bar, what let's think about not only professionally, but in your personal life. And you really do live by the 5 F's. Would you share a little bit more about what the 5 F's are?
Sure. The 5 F's are faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness. And to be successful in life, I think you need a balance and some success in all 5 areas. Whatever your faith is, that's a big part of your life. Family, there's nothing really more important than family. And friends are like family, but we get to choose them. So it takes work to nurture those relationships as well. Finances, if our finances are not in good order, then that leaves a lot of other problems for us. And fitness, without our health, then nothing's really there. So the 5 F's, I think, are key for us all to work on a little bit every day.
When you think about the 5 F's, and again, that's faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness, implementing them into raising the bar on a daily basis. Walk us through what that looks like for you. I know that, when we talk about the real estate industry, for example, the bar is set kind of low initially. And I think that is really just kind of a response that we've seen, like how relevant are we? How much do they need us? And the answer to that really will vary based on the professionalism. How are you using this to really raise the bar?
So it's funny, when I got into the industry, into general brokerage, I didn't see a firm out there that I would have been proud to affiliate with. So I started my own firm for that reason. And it's a pretty low level of entry into our industry. We're not going to medical school or law school. You don't even need a high school diploma to, sell real estate. So the bar to get in, I think, is low overall. And the level of professionalism for most of the agents in our industry it's at a really low place. But aligning with Sotheby's, it automatically raises the bar. And for everybody out there that's a ninja that goes through the training and stuff to become better, we're all at a whole different level, I think. So, I mean, the bad news is the bar is low. The good news is it's pretty easy to stand out above that bar. I think you can make yourself shine and stand out. And it's kind of, Mel, I think if you do all the little things a little bit better, you get a much better result. There's no magic potion. It's just doing everything you do a little bit better. And then at the end of the day, it's a lot better result.
It's that incremental change, right? The baby steps that you're doing. And as you start to focus on what that goal is, like to raising the bar, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, opening up your own company, putting in the value that you really want, and then really finding someone that you align with. Talk to us how you're using this in your daily life as well. What does your morning look like? How are you starting off your day? What does the morning routine look like?
Yeah, a perfect morning is a cup of coffee and writing in my gratitude journal and reading for about 20 minutes. After the kids are off to school, it's my wife and I sitting down for a cup of coffee and just for 10 minutes finding out about the day and what's going on with each other. I try to go work out about 3 days a week. So, getting into the office, I'm typically in the office about 8 o'clock to 8:30 at least every day. And so, then I've got a morning routine. I like to watch motivational videos and things when I get to work or read a little bit more. I like to start my day off on a high note there. And then it's kind of for me a big picture, what's going on today and this week and what do I need to do, and sorting through that. And it's kind of working on the business in the morning and in the business in the afternoon.
And when you're working on the business in the morning, would you also agree that there are so many fewer distractions?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You really get to start to create what your day is going to look like. When you're thinking about that very first hour in the morning, that is our hour of power. That's our very best opportunity to really get out of bed and really put our feet on the ground in the right mindset. You said that you focus on your gratitude journal. Can we go into what that means to you, and why has that made a difference in your life?
It's easy to get caught up in our industry with all the affluence and everything around us sometimes, and you can get caught up in what you don't have or what's not going good. There's a great book Jim Miller mentioned in his podcast called The Gap and the Gain, and I don't know if you've read that, Mel, but it's a great book, and it's finding the positive things that we're doing well to be thankful for. I had a very good friend die of a brain tumor 11 years ago, and so seeing him go through that. It makes you thankful for the basic things, just getting up and our family and our house and our and our home. But it's such a great career that we can. I think real estate's the best entrepreneurial career out there. Everybody who owns a home or wants to in our marketplace is a potential client. So I'm just thankful that I'm able to do that. One thing I love that I'm grateful for is the ability to control my schedule. I've never missed a kid's soccer game or golf tournament for work. And I can just knock off and go do that. And if I worked in a traditional 9-to-5 job somewhere, wouldn't have that. So, but just real estate affords a lot of opportunities for us in a lot of ways.
Well, you've had a lot of successes in the industry, in the business. You really attribute that so much to your relationships and relationship building and creating value for your clients and everyone that you serve, everybody around your life. Well, how do you do that? What are some of the things that you are, making a point of doing every single day?
Well, I think it's being intentional and touching base with people in your life, people that matter to you and the clients and things like that. But I think it's really intentional. It's trying to set up an opportunity to have coffee or lunch with somebody. intentionally making phone calls. It's being intentional with who you're surrounding yourself with.
And really connecting with them. So I would imagine you're probably not just sitting behind your computer screen every day, shooting off a bunch of emails, calling that a success for your day.
No, that's not the goal. The goal is to either meet new people or further develop relationships you already have. That's success.
Yeah, when you talk about relationships with people, when I'm around you, you always go just a little bit deeper. You find out just a little bit more about how things are, and I love it when you refer to carpe diem. Tell us a little bit more about your version of that. Your
Um,
seize the day.
yeah, seize the day. Today's the only day we have. It's about taking advantage of it and making the most of it. So it's really, it's about seizing the day, I think. And I share this story with you, but my 8-year-old son was on a soccer team, and his coach taught them to always, when you see somebody, say, "How's your day?" and to listen to them. And so it's about putting others first and asking somebody, "How's your day?" and understanding what's going on with them.
Yeah, how's your day? Okay, so let's go deeper on that. 8 years old, and the
Yeah,
coach is not just training them how to play soccer. The coach is saying, hey, it's important that you're asking these questions. We as adults forget to ask these questions. We're just waiting to talk about what us next. They
yeah,
talk, we talk, they talk, we talk, ping pong. So now all of a sudden you've got this amazing coach that is teaching 8-year-olds to ask people, how's your day going? Tell us about that. How is that? What has that meant to them? And has that, carried on throughout life?
yeah. So if anybody out there has ever had a child with a coach that was a truly, truly special person, Coach John was. He coached college soccer for 25 years. It's the winningest college soccer coach at a Division I school in North Carolina. And so he wanted to go work with kids. And so he taught my 8-year-old for 2 years. And he told them to always say, "How's your day?" And 5 years later, they'd see him on the soccer field. They always said, "How's your day, coach?" Every single kid. But that was great. The other thing, though, he told them at 8 years old, he said, "There's only two things in life you can control, and that's your attitude and your effort." And he said, "I expect your best attitude and effort on the soccer field. I expect it in the classroom, and I expect it at home with your parents." And I thought about that. That's all we can really do. It's our attitude and effort. So those were life lessons I learned from my 8-year-old soccer coach. So, but he's
And has your 8-year-old carried that on now that
absolutely,
is
yeah.
he your junior or your senior this year? Which one is he?
He's 16. He's absolutely carried it on. He's a great kid. But those are lessons that they learned early on, and so it was a blessing to have this guy with us for 2 years.
Such a gift. I mean, really, that's a lesson that we could take in today. Every single place that you go, asking people, how's your day going? How are
Yeah,
you? How
yeah,
are you? And I appreciate you. Those are really valuable ways to really create that value and go a little bit deeper. We need to start learning a little bit more about people. Now, you mentioned to me that when you talk to your son, he even asks you every single day how your day is.
yeah. He called me the other day to need gas money driving home from school. And he said, "Hey, Dad," he said, "how's your day going?" I said, "Good." He goes, "By the way, I need to get gas and need some money in my account." So it's okay. But
He
yeah.
set it up exactly right. That is
That's it.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yes. I get that call often. Hey, mom, can you sell me some money? I need some gas money.
but
I
no,
get that often. I need to make sure he's adding in that other part too. For sure. So raising the bar, it really is, it's a choice that we get to make every single day. Is it something that we want to just go through life, mediocre and really starting to get into, a scarcity mindset, or do we want to raise the bar and be the best person that we can be, seize the day, live the life to the fullest every single day. That is such an incredible gift that we definitely have. I'm curious a little bit more about your reading. You have mentioned in the past that you're an avid reader. Why is that important to you?
I think it's a great deal for $15. I can learn everything it took you a lifetime to learn, but it's great. I try to read at least 30 books a year. And so, at least 20, 25 are business, self-help, something like that. And then a few are just books I think I need to read, novels and stuff. But we have to keep charging our batteries,
Mhm.
Uh, Zig Ziglar once said that people told him motivation doesn't last. He said neither does bathing. That's why I recommend doing it on a daily basis. But it's something that we have to keep our batteries charged. And we have to keep reading. And I read somewhere our thoughts control our actions, and change our actions. We have to change our thoughts, and we change our thoughts by what we put into our minds. So if you're spending an hour watching Netflix or an hour reading, that's two very different things that go into your mind. So, for me, reading is just a great way to improve things and kind of get away from things for a little bit.
And continuing really to think about, readers are leaders. And the more that you're putting into the positive channel of your life and your thoughts, our thoughts are so powerful. Are you on the negative channel with the media and the news, and oh my gosh, the sky is falling, and all of the different things that are happening in our world, or transitioning over into how can I really be effective, how can I really be the change that I want to see in the world? And it goes back to carpe diem and really seizing your day. Any favorite books that you have been reading lately?
Reading right now, Unrelentless Habits. And that's been, Unrelentless Hospitality.
Oh,
And
okay, I haven't read that one. Tell us more about that one.
Unreasonable Hospitality. So the guy that wrote it, I think it's Will Guidara, has the #1 restaurant in the world. And so great example in there. It was a fine dining place in New York, in Manhattan. Their guests were coming some by car, and they found that they had to leave their meal and go put money in their parking meter. So it's like, we can fix that. So when they arrived, the host would ask people, how did you get here? And if they said they drove, they would say, what kind of car are you in and where'd you park? And they would tell them. And so the host would go out and put 2 quarters in their meter so they could enjoy their meal. But those are takeaways, Mel. You got, how can I implement that into my business and my world? And we talked about the Cheerios story, and this kind of leads into that. So I'm going, how can I put 2 quarters into a meter for a customer? What is it that I can do? But when our boys were little, and still today, they love Chick-fil-A. And Chick-fil-A has nuggets that all these little toddlers and stuff love. But the babies that are there with mom or dad, they're too young to eat the food. They don't have anything. So Chick-fil-A got cups and put Cheerios in there. Those were for the babies to eat. And so, the kid's a future customer. They're happy. Mom's happy. She's got her baby taking care of her dad. So I brought one of those cups with me and put it on my bookcase at work. And I'm like, what can my Cheerio be? What can I do? Doesn't have to be big, but what small thing can I do to stand out above everybody else in our industry? And so, but the Cheerios was a great little story to me about just doing little things to stand out and be better.
What is your Cheerio? Hence the title of
Yeah,
our show
yeah.
today. What are your Cheerios? What is it really that you could fill in that would create value for other people? And I would challenge all of you to think about that right now as you're watching and going through this. It's like, I love that analogy. It's what can I put into my cup, that will create value for other people? And I would also encourage you to think about, the go-giver and the go-giver, the law of authenticity. The law of authenticity is the greatest gift that you have, is the gift of yourself and being you. So what is it authentically that you bring that really creates value? And, every single one of us has a different version of what that value could be. What is your Cheerio that you could be putting into that cup today? Chick-fil-A really knew that was something that was the missing piece, right? The
Yeah.
missing piece that elevated that level of service. You also talk about the 3 R's. Will you tell us a little bit more about your 3 R's?
Yeah, the 3 R's are relationships and referrals, and I'm drawing a blank. I got this from some
Reputation, I believe you
reputation.
said. I
Yeah,
think you said it was
yeah.
reputation.
So,
Yes,
and
3
this
R's.
ties into the power of the brand. I was in the Highlands in the mountains of North Carolina in October, and I called a lady there named Jody Lovell that owns Highland Sotheby's, and never met her, and said, are you there Saturday? I'd love to come by, meet you, have a cup of coffee. She said, sure. Jody's been the #1 agent in North Carolina for, I think, 4 of the last 5 years. And my wife's like, you just call this lady, you don't know her, and said, can I come meet you? I'm like, yeah. So we sat for an hour and a half, but that's how she's built her business. And so it's just doing all the little things right, and it's reputation, it's relationships, and that turns into referrals. But I think that's just a core way to do business.
A strong core way to do that, always thinking about raising the bar with our reputation, elevating that level of service that we have. In 1 year's time, you have built so many relationships already within different networks around what our brand has to offer. So I'm curious, how did you make that happen, and how did you start meeting other people? You said, I went to this, I went to this, I went to this. Are you also picking up the phone and talking to others that are in other areas? Because you truly have made some global connections with other real estate leaders in the industry.
Well, I took it to heart what our CEO Bud said: if you embrace the brand and the people in the network, it'll grow your business to just levels that you can't imagine. And um, I went to Texas networking event and met Jim Miller there that runs Chicago office, and he told me, I said, if you were me, what would you do? It's my first networking event with Sotheby's. He said, go meet 5 people and build a relationship with them and get to know them, people who know, like, and trust you, and then go get 5 more in your network. He said, don't go pass out 100 cards. So I've tried to one by one meet people. We were on vacation in Florida last year. I contacted the owner of the Sotheby's there, went to their sales meeting and got to meet about 50 agents there. So whenever I've been traveling, Mel, I've tried to connect with a local Sotheby's manager or top agent there. And if you reach out to the broker in charge ahead of time and say, hey, I'm gonna be in town, who is it there that I should meet? They'll recommend a few people to you. And so, but just through whatever opportunities I've had, and but it's been a huge success. And I have done Zoom calls with agents I don't know. I've asked some, and some have asked me, and I think that's great. And so there's an agent in Boston with a morning talk show, and I did it with her, Tom and Joanne. And so, but I spoke with somebody in Silicon Valley last week, Alex out there, and it's just about finding people like that to connect with, and that you've got some kind of a bond.
And finding that time to pick up the phone and reach out to them. And I love the fact that you're getting more face to face too, even if it's virtual. We have such an opportunity to embrace technology instead of say, oh, I'm so tired of Zoom. There's still such a value add that we have to be able to connect with everybody across the country and even the world. So utilizing that tool is very, very successful. You've been in the industry for quite a while. I mean, a lot of people cannot go back to pre-2008 or understand the different levels of where we are. So I would imagine that many people that whether you're starting out your real estate career, when we're starting to think about where am I in this, you have really put together, just a cool thing with your 4 S's, and that's survival, stability, success, and significance. Can you walk us through just kind of the different stages that we go through, in our careers, and what that truly means?
Yes, so in our career survival, we're all there when we start out. We're just trying to survive. There's a point, hopefully, where we're stable, we have stability, we have enough income and closings, and we're making it. And it's covering all of our essential needs. But then success, that's when you're able to achieve more than you absolutely need, and you can make some great lifestyle decisions. You can pay for your kids' college. But success is a great place to be. But significance, not a lot of people get there. That's really where you're impacting the life of others. And so that can be through work or through personal. But, significance is when you can impact somebody else. And you, as a ninja instructor, Mel, are definitely doing that every day in your world, sitting through your class for a week. So my hat's off to you for that. But I think if we've got an opportunity to leave the world better than we found it, then that's great. And so that would be significance, when you can improve somebody else's life.
I think that's so beautifully said. There's so many different, paths as we start to, go through it. And honestly, a lot of people are in that survival mode right now, really, starting to make, their way within the industry. And I think you've given us a lot of really good tips and different success strategies on how we can put that together, and then it goes into stability and making good decisions, and then really creating the success that you're proud of, and then making a difference, through the significance. It's been a delight to have you with us today. As we are closing up the show today, what would you leave us with? What would you leave us with another, just a big piece of wisdom that you would like to impart?
I would just say, always put others first, always do your best, and always have fun. If you do those three things, life is good.
Life is good. Life is good. It absolutely is. And I just want to say again, happy anniversary. 30 years is a significant milestone, and it is, it takes a lot of work, to get through, an amazing relationship and building the family and the successes that you have. You are such a friend to so many, and such an inspiration, and certainly a leader in the industry. We're grateful for you today, Ben Bowen. So thank you for being with us. And, next week, everybody, we are going to talk about the habit of grateful. Ben, I believe you've read this
I read
book.
that book. Yeah, it's a great book. I highly recommend it.
This book is by Christine Newell, and I finished it yesterday, and I have never been so proud of a friend, just to finish an amazing book. But this is going to be a bestseller. This is going to fly off of the shelves. What a great Valentine's Day gift. It's on Amazon, but I'm so excited to go a little bit deeper in this. So what were some of your takeaways on the book, Ben?
She mentions being grateful for very, very basic things, waking up and stuff. And also she hit rock bottom, and she was very vulnerable in telling her story. And I think people, Mel, look at somebody who's having some success and think they've always had it made, they've always had it easy. And that's not true. A lot of people have really struggled to get where they are. So, but yeah.
I would agree. I would agree. I think it's very a relatable story that we can all take and say, yeah, I was in a position like that. My story is a little bit different, but I remember what that felt like. And I think she really gives the recipe to climb out of that as well. So looking forward to that. Everyone, make it a great week. Happy Valentine's Day. And thank you for joining us today. And Ben, as always, we're so grateful for you. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mel. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.